and the Assistant Director of the Oregon Screams Horror Film Festival, the Fall 2022 session of which will be screening October 22nd at the Sunshine Mill Winery and Drive-In Theater in the Dalles. Yes, that is a drive-in theater, and we have a really perfect drive-in style screening for you with Peanut Butter and Zombie. Thank you for being here, Mathew and Jesus.
Thanks for having us.
And so you guys are the creative team behind PB&Z. Can you tell me what you guys did on the film and a little bit about what PB&Z is about?
Sure. I am the writer slash producer slash co-editor of PB&Z. And the idea behind PB&Z was to make a movie that featured our friends' kids. So our friend Aaron's kids are very crafty when it comes to anything that has to do with art. So they were big fans of like shows like Face Off and any other type of show that required makeup. So I always wanted to write something for them, something they can participate in. And this is I think this might be my first production that I've worked with kids too, just with kids. So yeah, that's the story is a little silly story about sleepover, that there's a tragedy that happens and the way they dealt with it is not the most like honorable way. And then kid comes back for revenge kind of deal, but at the end there's a funny punchline to it.
Yeah,
totally.
Well, me and Jesus have been making horror movies since we were kids, and this was just sort of a fun way to take it back to like those old 80s 90s gory funny horror movies that we loved so much, inspired us.
Well, that's awesome. Well, what kind of specific inspirations do you guys have for this work?
For this one, Robert Rodriguez has been a huge inspiration on us. He's always done action, horror type stuff, and but then again, he's always worked with kids as well. He did the whole Spy Kids and Shark Boy and Lava Girl type stuff. Right. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of do something, where we don't have a lot of murder and cussing and violence. Like let's do something like that the kids can enjoy and watch. So that's I would say that was kind of the inspiration for myself for this project.
What about you, Mathew?
Absolutely. Robert Rodriguez has always been a big part of our inspiration. I'd also say, George Romero, obviously, with the whole zombie theme. And, really a lot of, trauma entertainment, a lot of independent horror guys who've done it their own way and have also been able to incorporate a sense of humor along with the horror. That's something that we've always kind of put into our films.
Absolutely. Well, I kind of want to know about this independent approach. What's it like? I know that you guys are wearing many hats for this. What was the production like?
This one, actually, we had more of a crew. Usually it's myself, Matt, our friend Alex Vegano, who's a cinematographer and editor as well. And, whoever we can get, our friends Brent, Walter, just, and it's more of a, hey, we're shooting on this day. Can you come in and just hold the boom mic? Like, it's not really a trained person per se, but for this movie, for this short, we were able to bring in friends that work in the industry, that work in production. So we were able to up our production a little bit. We brought in Sandra Garcia, who was the cinematographer for this. So she really had a really good eye and added a lot of professionalism to the film.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was nice working with the bigger crew this time. We had a gaffer, we had a boom guy, we had everything that we needed to give that movie a really polished professional look, which is something that we're always striving after.
And sound, like we actually had someone to do scoring for the film. Shout out to Fernando Gallegos. So yeah, it just added it made it a little bit more pro, which is what we're looking to do from now on. Just to kind of make each production better than the last.
Totally. Well, so you guys have been making movies since you were kids, and now you've made this great short, and it has that crew and it has that production. What did you guys learn from this experience? I mean, it's really an awesome thing that you guys are able to recognize sort of this long time dream.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was that you can't do everything, by yourself. As much as you want to be a Robert Rodriguez who, has his name on the credits like 15 times, you do need a village. It takes a village to make a movie, and I think that's the biggest takeaway from this is like going forward, we really need dedicated positions, like crew positions. We can't just do everything ourselves, and
well, we were able to execute some shots that would have been really difficult to do with the 2-3 man crew. So it was nice to be able to have some really cool moving shots, to have some really the high angle shot that we dug a hole in the backyard to make it look like out of the grave, stuff like that is difficult to do if it's just us. It was nice that we had this professional crew that we could tell them what we wanted, and they were able to produce the vision with us.
Totally. Well, so one thing that I took away from the film that I wanted to mention is, when you have a microfilm like that, it's usually based on a single premise, and the premise is executed, and that's the full package, right? But when I watched your movie, I was coming away, and what struck me was the dynamic between those great characters. You have the dad, you got the kids, you got the nephew, and their chemistry and their dialoguing on the same level. I feel like that was so engrossing and so fresh. I want to know, how did you guys do that, and how much did the actors contribute to that?
Yeah, this was all first-time actors. Every
Wow.
single person on this was a full-time actor, but they're a fan of movies and they're a fan of the horror genre. So I think that kind of came natural to them. The one thing I would change, and I might be anticipating another question coming up, but what we didn't expect was what we didn't plan for is that we should have made this into a 2-day shoot, because we shot well into like 3 a.m, and of course the kids were, everyone was grumpy. We were grumpy. We were, we're older, so we're like,
they were troopers though.
Yeah.
Well, I think it lends itself to their great deadpan humor. They might have been grumpy and pretty tired, but it actually just reads as a perfect depiction of their characers.
The kids were fantastic. Yeah, they were so much better. When you work with kid actors, a lot of times it's difficult just enough to get them to remember the lines, let alone be able to show emotion and depth. And I was stunned half the time I'm watching the monitor, just going like, wow, these kids, they're gonna be something someday.
Yeah,
that's so awesome.
Yeah, so shout out to Gavin, Ava, and Rim.
Yeah.
I want to know, what are you guys working on next? And is there any plans to bring these characters back, bring this family back in like a series or something? Because I feel like that would be something I'd like to see at least.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. They love the experience, even though we had that long night. But now we know, okay, we need to schedule this a little bit better. I definitely would love to work with them again in a different capacity. They were the ones that did the special effects makeup for one of the characters. So we wanted them to have as much, hands-on experience as possible. And coming up, Matt and I are always writing. We're constantly writing. We mainly do a lot of comedy shorts. We've been doing comedy, but we're trying to go back to our horror roots. And right now we're working on a horror feature.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else?
Yeah, we got a couple that have been in the works.
Cool.
I was gonna say we got one that we're writing right now. It's kind of like a demon goat story.
Nice.
That's again, it kind of falls in the same lines of funny, scary, gory, where it's like a sacrifice goes wrong, a goat gets sacrificed as a demon, and they turn them into birria tacos that have kind of the expecting that you can have from ingesting such meat.
Oh, that's rad. Oh, that sounds great. And you said you're working on that as a feature?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I definitely see some trauma. I see some midnight movies out of that. That's awesome. Is there anything else you guys would like to add? Yeah, is there anything else you'd like to add about Peanut Butter and Zombies?
Nothing. Just I hope everyone comes out and enjoys our film as the rest of the other films at the film festival. We had a lot of fun making this, and this is just the jumping start. Someone's put chupacabra tacos. Nice. This is just a jumping starting point for many other projects.
Awesome. Well, I think this is going to be that perfect. It's snappy, it's witty, it's good pace. It's going to be a perfect kick in that drive-in setting, and it really pays homage to that kind of that classical horror aesthetic. So thank you guys so much for making this, and thanks for talking to me today. I'm very much looking forward to screening this.
Hey, thank you for letting us be a part of your festival. We're really excited for this.
Absolutely. All right. Well, it was great talking to you guys, and I hope to see more from you soon.
Absolutely.